What's up, people? It's Kingdubs the 7th, and what I'm wanting to talk about to you guys today is, as you can see on the screen here, we're going to be talking about the Pokemon Nintendo Direct. So, not all of you might know what this is. A Nintendo Direct is what Nintendo does to give a little bit of exposure to games that they have coming out in the future. So, like in the past, more recently, they had Nintendo Direct with games like ARMS and Splatoon. Those are really big games that Nintendo are gonna have that are coming out that they hope to control the summer. Now, this Pokemon Direct was only a 8-minute direct that kind of happened. I didn't really, well, me personally, I didn't know anything about it until like maybe 2 or 3 days beforehand. Now, it wasn't anything big. It was kind of thrown, like it was told, we were told about it at the last second. But what a lot of people hoped to see was a Pokemon game on the Nintendo Switch, which, of course, I guess is kind of, you could kind of expect that to be shown for a Nintendo Direct only about Pokemon. And since the Nintendo Switch is the premier console for Nintendo right now, that's would you think they'd be, or you would think that would be their selling point, or you would think that would be what their focus would be for Pokemon games. But oh wait, before I say that, also it's what a lot of people have been asking for. A lot of people wanted a home console Pokemon game, but recently all we have been, or well, yeah, you could say recently, because we used to get home console Pokemon games like Pokemon Sun and Moon, but recently we've only gotten Pokemon games like Sun and Moon on the handhelds. A lot of people had hope that since the Switch was a hybrid console, that it would get a Pokemon game like Sun and Moon. But at this Pokemon Direct, that's not what was shown to us. As you can see, what we get on the Switch so far, well, what that's shown to us so far, what we get on the Switch is a Pokken tournament, a Pokemon fighting game. Now, for some reason, a lot of us as gamers have this mindset of, just because I don't know about it, nobody else does, and just because I don't want it, nobody else does. So what a lot of people had, because the Pokken community is not that huge, what a lot of people thought when they first saw this is, who asked for this? But what a lot of people don't understand is the Pokken community, although it's not big, they love their game. And a lot of people were super excited when they saw this Pokken tournament deluxe on the Switch, because a lot of people thought that Pokken was gonna die on the Wii U, because Pokken was not that big. It didn't sell that many. It didn't sell that many games. It sold that many copies, and it has an esports scene. So a lot of people and a lot of pros thought that esports scene was gonna die with the Wii U, and the Switch, or the Pokken, would not thrive really past maybe a year or two. But the fact that Nintendo is really looking into esports, and the fact that Nintendo added Pokken to the Switch, is a sign of two things. One, that Nintendo recognizes Pokken as a game that it wants to have a lot of success, and two, Nintendo possibly sees that the Pokken esports community as something that's worth investing into. So that was this announcement. This Pokemon Direct was very big for the Pokken community. Now, for the people who just like the Pokemon games like Sun and Moon, there was a Pokemon game announced, but it wasn't on the Switch. So a lot of people were very, why is that showing up? A lot of people were very annoyed about what we saw at this. Get out of here. A lot of people were very annoyed by what we saw at this Pokemon Direct, because a lot of people were hoping that there would be a Pokemon game on the Switch to play. It just wasn't shown. Pokemon Sun Ultra and Moon Ultra will be coming out, but they won't be on the Switch. They will be on the 3DS. Now, me personally, I don't understand why people thought that just get a Pokemon game shown for the Switch at an 8-minute Nintendo Direct. I thought that it would be obvious that if they were to show a Pokemon game anywhere, it would be at E3. Now, Pokemon Sun, Ultra, Moon Ultra, and Pokken were like they're not small, but they're not like huge hitter announcements to be made. Like, there were kind of things that were expected. A Pokemon game on the Switch is something that would be super special, something that you would want to show on a huge stage. I thought it would be super obvious that that huge stage, if they were to show a game like that, would be on the Switch. And I also thought it would be obvious that a Pokemon game on the Switch is not something that Nintendo necessarily needs or will want. Because if you put a Pokemon game on the Switch, and Nintendo has already stated that they don't want the Switch and the 3DS to compete. If you put a Pokemon game on the Switch, Pokemon is maybe, I would say the Pokemon is 3DS's biggest game. If you have a Pokemon on the Switch, that automatically makes the Switch competitor to pretty much its older brother and the 3DS. And you don't want two of your own money makers to compete against each other. I feel like the way Nintendo looks at this is Pokemon is what makes the 3DS money. The 3DS has other games besides Pokemon that people buy, like Fire Emblem, but those aren't as big as Pokemon. Everybody plays Pokemon people who don't like video games play Pokemon. People who don't like video games don't know what Fire Emblem is. People who do like video games don't know what Fire Emblem is. Games like that are games that people buy just to try out if they already have a 3DS and getting a 3DS for something like Pokemon. The Nintendo Switch doesn't necessarily need a Pokemon game. Nintendo's, like, if the way Nintendo probably looks at it is, they probably look at it like this. If we can sell consoles, if we can sell Switch consoles without having a Pokemon game on it, that's great. And we don't need a Pokemon game on the Switch because we have games like Mario Odyssey, Legend of Zelda, ARMS, and Splatoon that people are gonna buy a Switch for. Maybe in a year or two, when the 3DS is older and is getting a little bit more phased out, maybe then we'll see a Pokemon game on the Switch. But as of right now, I don't think that that's Nintendo's biggest priority. Nintendo has other IPs that they can grow and develop and create that would help the Switch out a lot more in the future. But that's pretty much all I have to say on the Pokemon topic. Another thing which has nothing to do with Pokemon is that for people, Smash Brothers is something that's wanted very much on the Switch. Melee, HD, and Smash 4 remake on the Switch. Smash 4 Deluxe, I guess it would be called. I think that fans of Smash Brothers should be super excited because if they put Pokken on the Switch, I think it's just about guaranteed that they put Smash Brothers 4 on the Switch. Because if you put Smash Brothers 4 on the Switch and Melee, it doesn't compete with any other Nintendo consoles because the Wii U is dead and the GameCube's old. Like, people aren't really going out and buying new GameCube. The Switch is discontinued. I mean, not the Switch, the Wii U is discontinued. So if you put a Smash Brothers, Melee, and Smash 4 on the Switch, Smash 4 on the Wii U and 3DS sold, I think, over 10 million copies. I think. I'm not 100% sure. Those are huge Smash Brothers fans. If you can have those people buy Switches and buy Smash Brothers, that's a lot of money. So for fans of Smash Brothers, I think we have nothing to worry about. I think we'll hear some really good news at E3. Now, that's pretty much the end of the video on my part of the discussion. I would love to hear your guys' opinions though. What did you think of the Nintendo Direct for Pokemon? What do you think of what I had to say about it? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Or you excited for a Pokemon game on the Switch? Do you think there should be a Pokemon game on the Switch? Do you not like Pokemon? Do you not care? I would love to hear your opinions. I would love for you to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more discussion in the future. This is Kingdubs signing off. Peace.